Well, good morning.
Morning.
Good to be in the Lord's house.
Amen.
All righty. Welcome again, all of our churches that are represented. It's a wonderful thing. Brother A.T. used to have a recording of him, and he would enunciate perfectly. And he'd say, "Brethren, churches." Not a church, but churches. And he'd say it with that deep, booming voice. Churches. As you brought out yesterday, that it's not a universal, invisible, never assembled body. It does not exist. So I appreciate that. Appreciate all the words and all the songs this morning. Well, I'm going to go a little different direction. I tried to time this exactly this morning for 15 minutes because, I don't want to go over, and I like time, even though for whatever reason I can't manage time well. So we'll go a little different off the subject that we've been talking about. Let's turn to Daniel chapter 3 this morning. A very well-known passage. I'm not going to do any preaching or any really explanation of this. This is more of I want you to be encouraged. I want to encourage you to always trust in the Lord. Amen. We sang that song, "Surely Goodness and Mercy." He is the creator of all the universe. He did it without your help. He did it without my help. I'm pretty sure He can handle all of our problems by Himself. He does not need us. So I want to read Daniel chapter 3. And there's a lot of repetition. But as Brother Noah said, can't skip it. So we're going to read every single word of Daniel 3. And I wanted to just kind of touch your heart and see, I already got it started, see the amazing things that the Lord has done for these three young men, because they stood up and served the Lord no matter the consequences. Amen. Can anyone else feel it coming in this country? Can you sense the rise of Satan, even more powerful? One day we may face things like this. We got to be willing to give it all up for the Lord. So let's read in Daniel chapter 3, starting in verse 1. It says, "Nebuchadnezzar the king made an image of gold, whose height was 80 cubits, and the breadth thereof 6 cubits. He set it up in the plain of Dura, the province of Babylon." So how powerful was Nebuchadnezzar? Pretty powerful. He can do whatever he wanted to do, right? Think you should be afraid of him? Yeah, for sure. "Then Nebuchadnezzar the king sent to gather together the princes, the governors, and the captains, the judges, the treasurers, the counselors, the sheriffs, and all the rulers of the provinces to come to the dedication of the image which Nebuchadnezzar the king had set up. The princes, the governors, and the captains, the judges, the treasurers, the counselors, the sheriffs, and all the rulers of the provinces were gathered together unto the dedication of the image that Nebuchadnezzar the king had set up. And they stood before the image that Nebuchadnezzar had set up. And a herald cried aloud, To you it is commanded." He had the power to do that. It was not a democracy. He had the power to do that. He had the power to cut your head off. He had the power to tell everyone what to do. "O people, nations, and languages, that at what time you hear the sound of the cornet, the flute, harp, sackbut, psaltery, dulcimer, and all kinds of music, ye fall down and worship the golden image that Nebuchadnezzar the king hath set up. And whoso falleth not down that worshipeth it shall the same hour be cast in the midst of a burning fiery furnace." How many quote-unquote churchgoers today would bow down? To save their job, to save their lives, to save their entertainment. They would give up all their personal freedoms, specifically to keep the things they love on this earth, right? "Therefore, at that time, and all the people heard the sound of the cornet, flute, harp, sackbut, psaltery, and all kinds of music, all the people, the nations, and the languages fell down and worshipped the golden image that Nebuchadnezzar the king had set up. Wherefore, at that time, certain Chaldeans came near and accused the Jews. Think there's going to come a time, Brother Mike, where people are going to accuse us and sell us out? All those people aren't doing that. They're still worshiping Jesus. We told them not to. They spake and said to the king Nebuchadnezzar, O king, live forever. Thou, O king, hast made a decree that every man that shall hear the sound of the cornet, the flute, harp, sackbut, psaltery, and dulcimer, and all kinds of music shall fall down and worship the golden image. And whoso falleth not down and worshipeth, that he should be cast into the midst of a burning fiery furnace. There are certain Jews whom thou hast set over the affairs of the province of Babylon, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. These men, O king, have not regarded thee. They serve not thy gods, nor worship the golden image which thou hast set up. Then Nebuchadnezzar, in his rage and fury, commanded to bring Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Then they brought these men before the king. Think these young men were scared? I mean, y'all know the story. Oh, I don't think they were scared at all. They served the creator of all the universe. They made the atoms, the electrons, everything we can see and everything we can't see. Nebuchadnezzar spake and said to them, Is it true, O Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego? Do not ye serve my gods, little g, nor worship the golden image which I have set up? Now if ye be ready, so he threatened them a little bit, right? He's probably looking at them, like, I'm going to give you one more time. One more chance, right? Now if ye be ready, that at what time ye hear the sound of the cornet, flute, harp, sackbut, psaltery, and dulcimer, and all kinds of music, ye fall down and worship the image which I have made. Well, but if ye worship not, ye shall be cast into the same hour into the midst of the burning fiery furnace. And who is that God that shall deliver you out of my hands? How many arrogant politicians do we have today? All of them. They think they're God. Bosses, police officers, just so many people that don't seem to understand. Look what they said in verse 16. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego answered and said to the king, O Nebuchadnezzar. Wouldn't it be amazing to be able to say this? I mean, this is so great a faith. They probably could feel the furnace already. They've seen it. They've been there for many years. They understood the pain. They understood the suffering. And what do they say? We are not careful to answer thee in this matter. Amen, right? Amen. We're not careful. We're not going to go back to our rooms and think about it. We don't have to think about it. Like Peter says, better to serve God than men. Verse 17 says, If it be so, our God whom we serve is able to deliver us from the burning fiery furnace, and he will deliver us out of thine hand, O king. We need to be able to say that. We need to be able to have this in our jobs, in our friendships, to not worry what people think, to trust the Lord. Amen. But if not, be it known unto thee, O king, that we will not serve thy gods, nor worship the golden image which thou hast set up. And one day we're going to have to face this. We're going to have to make a choice. Everybody in this room is going to have to make this choice. Amen. Are we going to bow down and serve Satan? Or are we going to stand, be willing to give up our lives for the Lord? Then was Nebuchadnezzar full of fury, and the form of his visage or his face was changed against Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. He was so mad his face was twisted up. Therefore he spake, commanded that they should heat the furnace 7 times more than it was wont to be heated. He's like, we'll see how powerful your God is.
Yeah.
We're going to see. He is arrogant. I can imagine how arrogant he was. How full of himself he was. And he commanded the most mighty men that were in the army to bind Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, and to cast them into the fiery furnace. Then these men were bound in their coats, their hosen, and their hats. All flammable, right? It's all flammable. It's going to burn up. And their other garments, and were cast into the midst of the burning fiery furnace. How hot was it? Verse 22. Therefore, because the king's commandment was urgent and the furnace exceedingly hot, the flame of the fire slew those men that took up Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. There's no chance for these men, right? And these 3 men, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, fell down, bound into the midst of the fiery furnace. Verse 24, you just see the Lord change an evil man like that. The power. He's like, I have no power. It's just amazing. Verse 24. Then Nebuchadnezzar the king was astonished and rose up in haste and spake and said unto the counselors, Did not we cast 3 men bound into the midst of the fire? They answered and said unto the king, True, O king. He answered and said, Lo, I see 4 men loose, walking in the midst of the fire, and they have no hurt, and the form of the 4th is like the Son of God. He's still in the fire today for us, right?
That's right.
He's still with us every single day. The same God then is the same God now. He has not changed. He still loves us as much as he loves them. Then Nebuchadnezzar came near to the mouth of the burning fiery furnace and spake and said, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, ye servants of what? What he changed his mind, right? What can we do in our lives? When bad things happen and we have great faith and people around us say, oh, wow, Sister Margaret, she's acting different. What does she have that we don't have? Philip talking about your lives. How do we handle stressful situations? How do we handle these things? The people around us will read us. I've heard someone say that we're the 5th gospel. They read us more than they're going to read their Bible. Yeah. How do we handle things? How do we put our faith? We talk about here, people say, oh, you little faith. We need to have great faith. Huge, big faith. Do not let anything bother us. To say, you know what? You want to heat it 7 times? Go ahead and heat it 12 times. Throw us in. Servants of the Most High God, come forth. And come hither. Then Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego came forth to the midst of the fire. And the princes, governors, and captains, and the king's counselors, being gathered together, saw these men upon whose bodies the fire had no power, nor was a hair of their head singed, neither were their coats changed, nor the smell of the fire had passed on them. We serve a powerful God. Amen. A powerful God. Then Nebuchadnezzar spake and said, Blessed be the God. Look at the change. Look at the change that we can have in people's lives. We'll just stand up and do it. And go, right? Go, speak. Sometimes you don't even have to speak. Just the way you handle stressful situations. Do you join in with the bad jokes? Do you join in with the cussing? Do you join in with the talking bad about your boss? Do you lie on your time card? All sorts of things. Any little tiny things can be a stumbling block to people. It can cause them to not trust in the Lord that you trust in. Blessed be the God of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, who has sent his angel and delivered his servants that trusted in him. That's the key. We have to trust in the Lord. And have changed the king's word and yielded their bodies that they might not serve nor worship any God except their own God. So this morning I just simply wanted to encourage everyone here to trust God.
Amen.
When life gets hard, trust God, right? When life throws a kink in your plans, as Brother Philip and Sister Tamara was talking about the other day, they had all sorts of plans, right? All sorts of plans. Did you ever plan to be in Rialto, California?
No, sir.
God threw a different curveball, right? When life throws a kink in your plans, trust God. When something unexpected comes your way, what do? Trust God. When sickness comes, trust God. We simply need to take our hands off, place our lives in God's hands and say, Thy will be done. Thy will be done. God has created us for a purpose. He has promised each of us He will never leave us nor forsake us. Do we trust that promise? There'll be more peace if we do.
Yeah.
Well, let's have a word of prayer, and then I'm going to ask Brother Philip to come up.